Let's read through an email that I received from a prospective client. We are looking for a company that can help us with making our website ADA compliant. We are not looking for an audit. We are looking for a company to do for us. I have done some of the work, included one of those apps that pop up to assist, but we want to do it the right way. So, what this person is getting at is they'd like to skip the audit phase of accessibility and go directly to the remediation phase, which I can completely understand. It's like, hey, we don't need an audit report. We just want to make sure that our website is fully WCAG conformant. But to do so, we still need to find the accessibility issues. Now, yes, some accessibility issues are obvious and apparent, and we could go and directly start working on those issues right away. But there are many other accessibility issues that we need to take the time to go through the website, thoroughly evaluate it, and make sure we uncover all of the accessibility issues. And if we are quickly remediating, yes, we can address some obvious issues, but we will always wonder whether or not we caught all of the accessibility issues because we didn't go through the website thoroughly. So an audit ends up being required one way or another. Now, we don't have to charge you separately for the audit. It could be all rolled up into one service, but we're still going to get to a point where it's like, well, we need to test the website with a keyboard. There's no way, we need to test the website with a keyboard, or we need to test the website with a screen reader, or we're going to have to inspect the code, or we're going to visually inspect the website, which leads us right back to an audit. So we can't work around the thorough evaluation because that's what's going to be necessary. In the opening line of the email, the person writes, "We are looking for a company that can help us with making our website ADA compliant." So they want a complete service, but we can't offer the complete service unless we're going to find all of the accessibility issues. If we're just quickly remediating as fast as we can based on whatever we come across, you're still going to wonder, well, what about all of the issues? Did you fix everything? Well, we wouldn't know because then we would just be directly remediating based on what we find. So the way it works is the developer is going to work through the accessibility issues that are reported in the audit, and the auditor is going to be responsible for finding as many accessibility issues as they can find. So we want to uncover as many accessibility issues as possible. In fact, this actually recently came up where we had a client and the client's agency who was working on the remediation, and they were actually annoyed and upset that the audit had so many issues. And I told them that that's our job, is to uncover all of the accessibility issues. We want to be as thorough as possible, and we're always going to err on the side of letting you know that this is an issue or potential issue, or this is something you may want to fix. So we want to have all of those accessibility issues, and you want to have that thorough process so that you can work towards full conformance and not be constantly wondering whether or not you did fix everything. So that's why there really aren't any incomplete services, at least in this respect, because this person's coming to us asking for an ADA compliant website. It's not going to be something where we're going to skip the audit phase. We're still going to audit the website because we have to. There's no other way to make sure that we have uncovered all of the accessibility issues. We have to be thorough. And even if we can quickly look at a website and instantly identify several accessibility issues, we still need to go undergo this thorough and formal process because we want to make sure everything's done the right way. Because if you skip steps, it's going to come back to you. And it can come back to you in the form of accessibility issues where you thought there weren't any. So as far as skipping the audit, we can't. It comes back to the fact that we need to audit the website because we need to find the accessibility issues. Even if we have a developer who's knowledgeable on accessibility, they're just going to be fixing things. They're not going to be stopping and looking for accessibility issues as they're going through and making the fixes, because those accessibility issues that are to be found would be contained in the audit report. The only way that we would skip the audit phase is with a site rebuild where we're rebuilding up the site and it's going to be accessible from the very start. So that's the only way we're going to skip the audit phase. Otherwise, if we are remediating, we need to know what accessibility issues we are remediating, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to conduct an audit. So that's the answer here as to whether you can skip the audit. You can skip it in the sense that we don't have to bill it separately. It can all be one service, but we can't skip it in the sense that we're going past finding the accessibility issues, because otherwise, how would we know what to fix? If you need help with accessibility audits or remediation, I will link to the accessible.org services page, and you can look through our methodology as well as the prices.